Title Sales Reps, I'm Sarah, and today and in this video, we're going to talk about the things that you need to do in order to overcome and navigate any shifting market. So let's get into it. I'm going to keep it really simple and short. In this video, it's going to be about going back to what we know works and maybe incorporating a few things that you haven't tried before. But here's the thing. I think some of you who are watching this, whether you're new to title sales or you're looking to increase your open order count, grow your book of business, and work with some of the more top producing real estate agents, the things that I'm going to talk about today, sometimes they're not popular because, well, they're hard, they're difficult, and it requires getting uncomfortable and facing rejection, which a lot of us don't want to do. If you're watching this, you might be a rep who's been in the business for a while and you're comfortable. So the idea of going out and doing the first thing that I'm going to talk about, which is prospecting, is just not music to your ears. And I get that. But you know what? It is probably the most important thing. It is the biggest part of our job. It is what gets business through the door. Nowadays, at the time of this recording, 2025, there is a new type of agent in our business, and they don't necessarily want to be wined and dined. Some of them do, but a lot of them want somebody who can help them with their business. And one of the best ways that you can let agents know that you can help them with that is to get on the phones and let them know you can help them with things like that. You don't necessarily need to lead with that when you're calling. I still think at the end of the day, the most important thing to do is make the call and ask for the order, ask for the business. But the way in which we go about doing that might look different than it did 5 or 10 years ago, or it just may need to look different now than it did 5 or 10 years ago for you because what you're doing now isn't working anymore. You need to pick up the phone and you need to know who you're calling. So making your calls every day, time blocking, knowing when you should be calling agents, when are they most likely to pick up the phone, is super important. If you aren't getting enough orders through the door or you want to open more orders, you've got to pick up the phone. The second thing you need to do is get really good at your scripts, because especially if you're in a market where agents say that title reps don't call them very often, then you need to have a really good script when you call them. You need to make sure you are clear on who you are and why you're calling and what you want. People are not sitting by the phone every day hoping that you call them, whether your market has title reps calling all the time or not. Either way, you need to be really good at your scripts. This will help you in any shifting market because you're going to know what to say when you're on the phone and also when you're in person. You need to know what to say when you're running your meetings, when you're asking for the business, when you're trying to find out what your agent needs and how you might be able to help them obtain those things. And if you don't know what to say, then you're going to stumble and it's going to lower your status, which I've talked about in other videos before. You also need a really strong follow-up game and script when it comes to getting on the phone and prospecting. People aren't just going to send you a deal because you pick up the phone and ask. A lot of times these big producers, obviously they already have title companies that they're working with. They're happy. So your job is to go out and work really hard and figure out a way to get them to send you just one. That's really what you're asking for, is like one opportunity. That's what we want. But how you get that can be very difficult because they're probably not going to send you that one deal on the first opportunity that you ask. So if you're in a market right now where it's really tough, there's low inventory and high competition, there's title companies on every corner, then you've got to figure out how to stand apart and set yourself apart from your competition. So that's the next thing that I would advise in a shifting market, is that you need to make sure that you are highly visible. Your brand needs to be everywhere. And I'm not just talking about the brand of your actual title company. I'm talking about you yourself. Are you someone that people remember when they meet? Is your brand something that stands out in a crowded marketplace? If not, I can help you with that. Feel free to reach out, send me a DM here in the comments below, or you can go into the description of this video and I give you multiple ways of getting in touch with me. I'd love to see if I can help you build out your brand so that not only agents and brokerages recognize you, but they may begin to contact you and say, hey, can you come teach a class on this? Could you come in and speak on this, that, or the other? And that also gives you open doors to be able to get in and then book appointments with people so that you can then ultimately ask for the business. Okay. And the last thing that I want to talk about, and I think it's really important, maybe the most important out of all of these, would be you have to be super organized and targeted. If you are not targeted in who you're calling, especially in a shifting market, if you're not targeted on who you should be talking to, you're going to be wasting your time especially on agents that maybe don't have any business to send you. You can do some digging and research and find out who the top 100 agents are in your area. You also need to have your own very targeted call list. You need to have a list of 10, maybe 20 agents that you are looking to get in front of within the next 30 days. It is your goal to be able to sit down and have a conversation with them. You know who they are, you know what they've sold, you know who they typically work with, and you're ready when you sit down in front of them to overcome objections and ask for the business. There should also be a list of agents who are on the other side of a deal. We often call those non-directing agents. They didn't choose to send the deal to you, but they were there because there was two agents involved in the transaction, and oftentimes there's a lender. So out of three people involved in that deal, only one of them chose to send the deal to you. That's 66% of that transaction who didn't choose to be there, which means that you could go and call them during or after the transaction and say, hey, how was the service? How did we do? What's the likelihood of us working together again? Those should be on your list of targets to be calling every single day and following up with. If you don't have a targeted list of prospects, if you are not vetting them correctly, if you don't really know who you should be calling, you're just going to be spinning your wheels. But you don't need to be spending time with agents who really don't have any business to send. You can teach them in large group settings. You can send them resources. You can have conversations with them over the phone, but to be going to long lunches with them or, putting together things for them that really take you away from what you should be doing, which is prospecting, is not going to put money in your pocket and it's not going to put orders to your title company. Instead, you want to be targeted and know exactly who you should be talking to every single day. I really encourage you to reach out to me if you think I can help in any way. I would love to help you either start or grow your title sales business. It is a great business to be in. It has offered and afforded me a wonderful life as a single mom raising two kids on my own. So please reach out in the comments below or send me an email. You can find all my contact information in the description of this video. I'd be glad to help, and I'll see you in the next video.